Hey everybody, welcome back to Magic Orthodoxy. My name's David, and this is a Magic Review. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for being here. Got a brand new release from Penguin Magic. Right? Not only Penguin Magic, David Jonathan, Nikolas Mavresis, when those guys team up, magic happens. That's right, magic happens. I think those guys are they best friends now? Are they best friends? I think they should be, right? Yeah, so much cool things happen when they get together. So this is the Charms deck. What is that? What is the Charms deck? The Charms deck is a tarot-sized deck. Let's not be confused. It's not a tarot deck. They made it tarot-sized so that it would elicit that feeling, right? Because what this is a deck of cards that shows various lucky charms throughout the world. Okay, so very different. So kind of educational, right? If you didn't already know, four-leaf clover, rabbit's foot, things like that, this deck puts it all together for you. And granted, there will be some lucky charms you've never ever heard of, right? And what they've done is they've put all those on the faces, and then on the back sides, they've not only made this a stack deck, but they've also made it a marked deck, which means you can do some pretty incredible card magic with this, mentalism with this, that kind of has a tarot feel, but isn't tarot. You're not doing readings, okay? You're not predicting anybody's future. It's just, lucky charms, like the cereal. You want to see it? First, everything's going to come in this outer box that says Charms deck. Okay, so the actual deck itself will not look like this. It will look like this. So it says Charms of the World, a collection of good luck charms and bad omens that unravel the threads of fate. So you got a little good luck cat there on the back. It says find your lucky charm inside. Notice that it has 3 symbols already on the back side that you could use for a 3-person trick card reveal, right? And then on the inside, they're going to give you this deck. So the deck has all the charms and more on the back side that shows various lucky charms, okay? And then on the front side, you have the image, the title, a brief description, and the origin. So Laughing Buddha, 4-leaf clover, wishbone, Zuni bear. Now, I used to work at Natural Wonders in the mall, and we sold Zuni bears. I had forgotten about them, but now I'm reminded, right? So I might be able to keep that in my memory. But Ninette and Rinnetintin, I've never heard of that. So you would need to go through this deck and orientate yourself with these symbols, right? I've never heard of Pysanka. I might initially think, oh, you have the egg, but you should know what it means or know what it's called, right? Crocodile teeth, Jin Chan, pig, cricket, ladybug, turtle, lucky penny. See, some of these you know, but did you know Milagros? Did you know Worry Dolls? Did you know the Caduceus? The name of that lucky cat is the Maneki Teko. Horseshoe, flamingo, an old shoe, a scarab, the Nazar, right? The Figa. And I'm butchering this, I know, so if you're from Italy, you're gonna know how to say cornicello, but I might not. So dahlia horse, goldfish, the hongbao, bamboo, the hamsa, the frog, carp scales, fuzzy dice, an elephant, a dolphin, daruma, lotus, a tumi, and the dream catcher. But then they're also gonna give you extra cards for specific tricks. So they'll give you an extra lotus card. If you wanted to do card to impossible location, they're going to give you a double facer. They're going to give you a card that tells you to count down to a certain card in the deck. They're going to give you a double backer. And then they're going to give you these dark cards. So you have a set of dark cards that are all new. So Toasting Water, the number 13, Walking Under a Ladder, the Raven, Hat on a Bed, the Broken Clock, the Umbrella Indoors, Spilled Salt, and the Black Cat, and the Broken Mirror. So those are for a specific trick as well. You will also get a red envelope that contains the good luck charm on it that you can use for a prediction effect. Plus 1 hour and 41 minutes of tutorial, and it's all bundled together for you for just 40 bucks. So normally I would say something like, you know, this is a one-hit wonder, or you can only do one thing with this. I wouldn't do a lot of tricks back to back. With this, you could. It's a deck of cards, right? It's a deck of cards, it's a marked deck, and they're gonna give you enough ideas that you could put 3 tricks together and use the same deck, pretty much use the same technique over and over again, right? So it's not what I thought at all. I did not know what to expect. I really didn't know anything about it until it showed up in the mail. So, but I was very pleasantly surprised. Very well made. The cards are nice stock. They do glide. You could shuffle them, although you won't want to, because like I said, they are in a stack. They are in a stack and they are marked. So whereas you could shuffle them and then do a marked deck effect, you could, okay, if you wanted to do it that way, but it's gonna work even better in stack. In fact, there's a trick where the spectators can actually draw a card out of the deck and you will know which one is gone. So it's really cool. So as far as the video goes, they have some live performances and studio explanations. They go back and forth between the two. So mostly just Nikolas and David in a room with the deck, and they're going back and forth teaching you the routines. They'll talk about what you get, how the stack works, how the marks work, and then they walk you through a specific other marking. There's another marking on the deck that enables you to find which cards are missing from the deck. The first trick is a spell to the charm. So it's using the spelling. It's the spell trick, right? You're coming up on a certain card, and then once you get to that card, you spell to their card. There's a trick called remote viewing, where you find their thought of card from a pile of other cards. And it's crazy. Like, even though they're holding 5 cards and they're only thinking of one, you'll call out every single card they have in their hand. There's the pink lotus that uses the dark and light cards together. They are able to separate them like an oil and water trick without seeing them. And there's another trick called automatically charmed. This was a named card at number, and which is another spell 2 card. And then there's the red envelope effect they'll teach you, where the envelope is the prediction. Then there's the box reveal I showed you earlier, where 3 people match 3 symbols on the back. And then they'll do something else with the omen cards, and there's some final thoughts. Pocket space, like I said, it's tarot sized, so it's not exactly pocket space. And even though there's nothing that says that this is a seated deck, I think this deck works better seated, right? Just whenever you're kind of doing these style of effects, even though it's not tarot, it's not reading tarot, it's not fortune telling, right? It's not mysticism. Stop panicking, stop worrying. I think it just lends itself more to seated, right? But I mean, you could do it any which way you want. Angles and inspectability, I think you're fine. The marks are not, they're visible, but I don't think you'd understand what you were looking at if you saw it. Like, it's a thing within a thing. So it's not like it's a blatant object. It's not like the cat is in a different spot on the backside, which was what I was hoping. Like, you know, if you look at a certain corner, that corner constantly changes into the object. I wish it was that, but it's not that. It's more deceptive than that. In fact, it's not even colored. All the markings are the same color on the back. So you can't even use color clues. You can't say, oh, well, it's frog, so it's gonna be green. It's not like that. All the markings are the same boring color, so you'd never see it. Your spectators wouldn't either. How hard is this? I'm gonna put how hard is this along with my negatives. Okay, I'm gonna put them together because it's not hard, it's not difficult, but, and there's no difficult sleights. The difficult part is learning all the charms that you don't know, you know, by name, and then recognizing that mark for that charm on the backside. So, whereas I don't know, let's just say worry dolls, right? I don't know worry dolls. But not only do I have to remember that they're called worry dolls, but now when I look at the mark, I have to associate the mark with worry dolls. So there's really 2 points of learning. And my wish is, instead of making the mark look exactly like the object on the front, I wish they had made it more generic, like a bathroom sign, right? More like, show me just a generic picture of a frog, I'll get it. It doesn't have to look exactly like the frog that's on the other side. right? Show me a picture of a cat. It doesn't have to look like the cat that's on the other side. I want to see a fast symbol that I can immediately recognize because I don't know these charms, right? So there's a larger learning curve because the marks are so close to the object. So as soon as they get shrunk down into a smaller form, you lose a lot of detail. So I would just rather this be a generic picture of a frog or a generic picture of a cat, and I'll know to associate it with, rather than staring at it and going, is that the frog or is that the gecko or is that the cricket, right? I felt like the marks were just a little too perfect, and I wish that they were more generic, right? That's all. But positives, what a fun deck. What a fun deck, and what a great way to kind of move somebody into that kind of mentalism where it looks like you're doing tarot stuff, but you're not, right? You're still doing card magic. I mean, these are just regular card magic tricks. Some of these you'll probably recognize. The spell 2 tricks, you'll recognize, right? The trick with the piles, you'll recognize, right? So there's more you could do with this deck than what they just teach you, obviously. And you could do any mark deck effect you want. So now, as a mentalist, if you've kind of always shunned cards and you're like, I'm not really into cards, but I know some card stuff, you can apply all of that here, okay? So fun mark deck, very playful looking, very innocent looking, right? The graphics and everything make it seem very innocent. Doesn't look deep or dark or, you know, witchcrafty or black magic-y. It looks very playful, right? And it can be a learning thing because you're learning, you know, the countries and areas of the world in which they come from. So a lot of fun. And for $40 at Penguin Magic, David Jonathan, Nikolas Mavresis, it's a no-brainer, right? Yep. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.